Welcome back to Heart Talks with Anita Bahal. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful day so far. And today I would just like to talk a little bit around the whole topic of Valentine's. Now, I'm not going to talk about how Valentine's came about, but I'm going to talk about how we celebrate it today in the world. And it has become a celebration of love, I would say, an expression of love. And it has become, as you know, very commercialized. But you know what? It's okay to buy flowers, to buy gifts, to express your love through kisses and hugs. And it's very wonderful to celebrate love, to be honest. Every day we should celebrate love. But what happens in this whole celebration, even though it has moved from not just celebrating lovers and celebrating partners and girlfriends and boyfriends, it has been a celebration of friends, it's been a celebration of parents, siblings, and every human being, just a celebration of love. But, you know what happens around this time? It can actually be very depressing, very disturbing, very mind-boggling for many. Because what happens is that a lot of us kind of like wait. We sort of like, we like can't wait to see like what is happening. Like, are they making plans? Are they going to surprise me? Am I getting flowers at work? You have a lot of expectation. Because in your heart, maybe you think, well, as a mother or as a wife or as a sister or daughter, whatever it is, you think you are giving a lot. So you think, well, I'm taking care of the kids, or you think that I have been cooking every day for my family, or you're thinking that as a father, I've been taking the kids to school every day, and whatever it may be. But you just feel that you have been giving a lot. So your idea now is that because you have been giving a lot all the time, and this is a celebration of love, you want to feel loved now. You want this to be expressed. You want to feel appreciated. You just want to experience this. And we get so much into this that our mind starts thinking, or we may see a friend get flowers, or we may see a friend is going to a romantic dinner, and we feel like, oh, why can't my spouse do this? Or why can't, my family do this for me? And we start to go down the road of, again, me, me, me. Now, mind you, this was me as well. I remember getting up on some Valentine's Day, and it would start off badly. I think I would be crying, putting on my jewelry, sometimes to go to work, because I would feel like Safras didn't call, or I would think like, oh, there's so many ways if he wants to send me a gift, or, because I felt, again, that I was doing so much. But this is incorrect thinking. I want you all to listen to this. This is incorrect thinking. Because we sort of like, in the world today, we see love as a transaction. And love is not a transaction. Love is just freely giving. Love loves for the sake of love. Love is just lovely. Love just wants to love. And when I reflect, when I was taking care of my children, I was doing it because I definitely wanted what was best for them. I loved them. When I helped my students, or whatever it was, you truly wanted the best for them. But sometimes we say it's only human to have expectation. And I agree, these expectations sometimes will come. But we have to talk to ourselves and realize that don't sit there and wait to be appreciated. No. What we have to do when these things come, I want you, the minute you think like, oh, I don't feel appreciated, I wish somebody could recognize me in this house, tell yourself, instead of wanting to be appreciated, I want you to look around and appreciate. Appreciate all that you have. When I look back, I said, oh my gosh, I would be crying in the morning. And I had my 3 kids with me. I had the sunlight. I had fresh air. I had food. I had a wonderful job. And it's so important. And I remember working with Mr. Fayed Ali, who is actually Dr. Fayed Ali now. And he had told us that many times, how we were in the top, I think 3% in the world who had all these things. Yet we take it so much for granted. And here was I, waiting on Safraz now to make me feel appreciated, without me being appreciative of all that I had. So I want you to know, you don't need to be appreciated. Of course, it feels wonderful if we are, don't get me wrong. But talk to yourself and get out of it. Because honestly, it can spiral you downwards, feeling that, oh, nobody loves me, nobody cares, I'm giving so much, and we sort of go down a wrong road. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, around this time too, we sort of like look around and we see so much romance, and we are seeing, oh, somebody's taking a trip, and as I said, flowers are coming and presents are reaching at work and all sorts of things. And we start thinking like, oh, again, we start comparing. Well, why my spouse not doing this? Or why, why they don't love me the way these other men love their wife, or wife love their husband, or whatever. But what we need to remember, everybody expresses love differently. Now, to be honest, I love to dance. I love to sing. I love to stuff. I say, come, let me go in a little salsa today. I love it. Now, Safraz is not really I wouldn't say not outgoing, but he's not a party guy. No, neither am I. I'm not in any I'm not going to any like clubs and those things. It's not me. But you tell me to have a little salsa dancing somewhere, or a little Bollywood something. I want to have fun. I don't mind learning a little stick dance. But Safraz won't really come up with these things. No. And I love to celebrate birthdays, but he said he didn't really grow up celebrating birthdays or whatever it was. But I used to tell him, I'll be like, well, I like this, and I like this, and I like this, and I like this. And it's years I telling him. And I feel like this boy don't hear. So probably his way of showing me love wasn't in taking me to a dance or whatever it was, or sending me flowers or whatever it was. In fact, the first time Safraz gave me flowers, if I remember, was on our wedding day. And I remember giving it away to one of my cousins and say, oh, just take this back. And when I look back, another time he bought me flowers. I'm not kidding you. And he went out with friends, and I said, why didn't you bring me a sandwich instead? That was so funny. So I was really never into flowers and stuff, but definitely I wanted to feel appreciated. But he wasn't living up to my expectation at all. So sometimes I'll be so upset about it. And that was clearly going a wrong road. And I would want to show him. I would show Safraz how all the men in the neighborhood coming home early, but he never home, and all sorts of things. And that was wrong of me. And I want to tell you, please do not compare your spouse or your partner or your friend. It's not cool. Because if Safraz had started comparing me to a lot of people, believe me, I never liked to cook. I'm not even sure if I didn't like to do it, or because I was just so busy, or I made myself feel I was more busier than I was. But I hardly cook. Now, he could have go everywhere and say, oh, Anita, don't cook. And he could have really put me down. But he didn't. He chose not to. He accepted me for who I was. I, on the other hand, used to compare him a lot. And this leads to a lot of misery. And you know what? With social media, people sometimes, oh gosh, they're putting up all these beautiful things. They're going on trip, and they're expressing love, and they're going to all these fancy restaurants. And sometimes daily, they're not happy. And many of us today are not experiencing true, deep happiness, which is just to be ourselves. So I want to tell you, don't compare. Try your best not to compare. Because no matter how much I complain or tell Safraz what I like, he did not change, because this is who he was. And you know what? To tell you the truth, his love was in many different things. His love was in walking through the door, now coming home from work. This boy now come home sometime from maybe 15, 16 hours of work. As soon as he reach, he washing the dishes. Or as soon as he come home from work, he come inside yet, he done shoveling the snow. Or, on his way from work, somebody not feeling well, so he passed by the house. And check me, totally blind, not seeing all these beautiful things that he was doing, right? but I wanting and waiting and comparing. So please, again, you don't want to be waiting, right? You're waiting to be appreciated. You're looking around and you're just appreciating all that you have. 2, you're not comparing. Do not compare what your friend get. No, 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 no. You sit down and you write down all the lovely things about your spouse or partner. And believe me, you're going to find so many that you take for granted. I tell you, when I make a list about my husband, the only thing that is still probably get me a little bit is that how busy he is in neurosurgery. But as a human being, he's a selfless soul. But I'm a blindness now, only studying to compare him. How I could compare a guy with a 9-to-5 job with Safras who have to, do surgery and help people. It was unfair. And I was lucky that he tolerated me. He didn't compare me. He could have said he could have get a better wife. He could have get somebody who was cooking hot meals. He could have get somebody who was more grateful, somebody who was happier to be with him, who understood him. So if you are doing this, please move away. Another thing. Stop feeling this new thing people like to say, or probably it has been happening for centuries. I shouldn't say new. But because it's social media, I'm more aware. We like to say, he completes me, she completes me. No, we don't need anyone to complete ourselves. Just like atoms of an element that have all the same chemical properties of that element. We need to remember, we are like particles in this universe that have all the fullness. We have everything. When I say everything, we are love. We are, we are harmony. We are peace. We have everything. But we don't tap into this power, right? And we're waiting for this other half. And it's not a good way. What we have to remember is that we complement each other. We can assist each other. We can guide each other. We can complement each other. But we do not need to feel at all that I need him to complete me. Because remember, we are born alone and so too we will die. But yes, while we are here, please share love, live in love, give love. But don't feel that we need another. And there too, I had faltered. I had met Safras when I was 16 and it's almost like I felt like I was like empty without him, waiting for him to fill up my little empty cup, waiting for him to love me, waiting for him to make me feel appreciated, waiting for him to make me feel whole. And that is not correct. We have to own ourselves. We have to dive deep and feel that wholeness. And you will see how beautiful that will be. And one of my last points here is that love is not a transaction. I see a lot of people sometimes on social media would say, well, she not looking for me, so I'm not looking for she. She, didn't invite me to her wedding, so I'm not inviting her. Or, them don't talk to me and just nick for a knack sort of thing. And you know what? I want to tell you all, love is a beautiful energy. It is not to say that if I'm kind to you, you should be kind to me. In fact, if I'm kind to you, just keep passing it on. It's a beautiful energy. It's like conduction happening all throughout all living things. Just let it pass through. Let the energy just keep vibrating on and on and on and on and ripple through this whole universe. Please, it's not a transaction. So even if you have a family member who hasn't treated you so nicely, you just don't know what they're going through. You don't know in what capacity they are right now. You still give them love. It doesn't mean you have to be their best friend. It doesn't mean if you find that they are adding negativity to your world, that you don't have to be very in close contact. But you must have no sort of negative thoughts here. And you must, just try to exude your positive energy and keep loving that person, inviting them over, keep giving them love, and stay away from this nick for a knack stuff. Because I wrote down that, we sort of like want to reciprocate these things, but love needs to be shared, love needs to be shared. So we need to shift our whole perspective, okay? And you know what, it was wrong. Sometime when I was growing up too, I would see that even with family members, something happened, so we just cutting off and sometimes it goes down to the other generations, which is not cool. So let's just keep living in love. And lastly, I read something, I believe it was yesterday or last night, that said, I think it was Prophet Muhammad who said, better than charity and prayer is having good relationships. And one of the ways to have good relationships is to have less expectation, or when the expectation comes, just let it go and look around you and see all that you have to appreciate when you want to feel appreciated. Also, do not wait for another person to complete you. You are full. You are full. You are beautiful. And in your own time, you will bloom. Also, there's no reason for us to keep comparing our spouses, ourselves with anybody else. It is wrong of this concept of competition. We do not need to compete with each other because we are all different. I believe it was Einstein who said that if you judge a fish on the ability to climb a tree, well, you tell me what's the results. So why even compete with each other when we are all different? We all undergo differences. Also, please keep giving love freely and in your capacity. If you love to cook food, cook meals with love and share it. If you love plants and you want to share plants, do in your capacity. And when you are doing, try your best to also make sure and find time to love yourself, so you won't feel so depleted now that you're waiting for others to fill your cup. Okay, so I hope that helps you. And for anyone, if you are feeling down or you felt you weren't appreciated or whatever, please move your perspective to all the things you have to appreciate. And believe me, I was down that road and it's not a nice road. It creates more problems and negativity, and all we want to do is focus on positivity. And a beautiful way that you can start with more positivity and looking for all the reason why you love your partner or love yourself or are grateful, you can start a beautiful journal so that every morning, there's one of the journals I have that's called the 5-minute journal. You could look at it online. The 5-minute journal, and there's spaces to write. And at the beginning, they actually ask you to say some things you are grateful for. And at the end of the day, you have to talk about amazing things that happened. So it forces you to only focus on all the positive. Okay? And please remember, love is to be celebrated every day. Love is who we are. And that love is an energy that stimulates our will. And love unites every single one of us. So please keep sharing the love, keep passing it on. And please tune in again to Heart Talks with Anita Bahal. Have a lovely day. I forgot to tell you, even though I'm wearing this beautiful jewelry that my husband gave me, I just want to say, look at this. It doesn't matter what this jewelry costs or this earring costs. It doesn't matter. I did feel appreciated. But you know what was so beautiful? My son Ajay put on this necklace for me. This morning I was going to shower, and you know what? I didn't take it off because he put it on my neck. And I'm going to tell you all that, I'm grateful that Safra's bought this. Yes, it's beautiful. But you know what? It's the simplest gestures of love that actually count the most. It's in conversation. It's in laughter. It's in talking in the bathroom. It's in looking to each other's eyes. It's in washing the dishes when someone puts an arm around you. It's in just having a meal. It's in walking. Most of the gestures, it's in being alone in nature. Most of the most beautiful gestures are free. And to Ajay, if you ever look at this video, I want to tell you, I felt so special when you put this around my neck. I love you so much. And of course, I love Arjun and Anjali and everyone. And I love everyone. We are all united. And have a good day. And I hope that our love reaches you. And remember, no matter what you are going through, send out to the universe positive thoughts as we keep sending it out. And we all will feel it. Have a wonderful day. Love and light, Anita.